Hey, so we know what a cathode ray lava tube is, right? Catalogs a cat, a ca, like a catheter, a cathode ray, golden fire rays, right? Catalogs, phone books, directories, addresses, spin points, nodes in a network, network operators, tech operators, breathing experiment operators, right? And how that relates to the Torsion matrix quarantine, as that relates to what? Vacuum gauges, temperature gauges, acid and alkaline. So this is just a short file share because for any of you that have watched any of my videos that go back about, I don't even remember when I got here. I just arrived when I was supposed to be here, whenever that was. Because for me, it's always in the moment. The inflow and the return flow to experience being one. A fully integrated circuit, which is full gold capacity sensing levels. Now I'm sensing what you're sensing, what you're experiencing, being what you are. Now I'm experiencing what you are. And knowing the difference between one and another, one node and another node, as it relates to what? Miasma, shadow body network, black hole networks, the black screen TV, the one that we're using our electrical consent to power. Otherwise, it doesn't exist because it's a dead acid battery. So this is about acid batteries. So if you remember in my previous videos, I talked about Aaron. And if you remember what I said about Aaron, we talked about when I mentioned Aaron one day, about being base 12, right? And Aaron's response to that was, well, I'm going in the other direction. I'm becoming more acidic, right? I want to be more acidic. And that's when Aaron mentioned to me about feelings. I'm learning how to come. He said, I'm learning how to come in touch. Oh, like touch. Remember when I was 4 years of age? Do not touch me with your codes unless you're pure. And I mean pure. Pure as the driven snow, like in Irisha, Cristola, like in Ireland. Greenland, emerald green, a real emerald crystal wave. So one of the things that I noticed when the property owner, shows up, and as I'm going higher and higher, the higher tones, I noticed a trend, a change in the echo map. So what I noticed was when the property owner would come here to visit over time, wave, density, speed, multidimensional acceleration of consciousness levels of radio waves, equal spirits, equally sharing, no hierarchies. I noticed looking in the refrigerator codes that were not there before. And so you realize the relationship between one and the other. Error sign 333 and digital 106666, right? The 222, how that cycles every 10 minutes, as like in 60 minutes. Oh, the 60 minutes, yeah. And how that relates, knowing the torque speed differential between a 9 and a 6. The speed cycle, the spin cycle of mathematical ratios of elemental ions, the bioneuroцircuitry. So I noticed in the refrigerator things that were there based on the codes that they're running through their cellular processor that I don't run through my cellular processor, as that relates to what? The mathematical function of electrolytes, metabolic speed, right? The codes that we're running in our cellular processors. So what do you think I began noticing over time? Now that the property owner is out here like once a month now and staying here for 10 days. He's here for exactly 10 days and then leaves. Okay, so his mind is cellular processing, is processing at the 10 cycle, the 6666, the digital codes. And so, just like Aaron, I'm noticing that the property owner is now doing what Aaron was doing. Now I'm seeing a lot of acid, a lot of sugar. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing Oreos and chocolate bites. Man, there's a lot more sugar in this refrigerator that was never there before. So you know how that relates to what? Instructional codes. The mind is being instructed to consume more metabolic waste product to increase the compression of the neurons, right? As that relates to pressurized water vessels, becoming more acidic. So you shouldn't be surprised when it comes to what? The Big Island. And what I mentioned, the triple solar rainbow, mentioned to me about the Big Island being a dumping ground. They're directed to come over here as property owners, right? To own the land without a permit. When you realize that 13th Arcturian White Bear Clan mother filed the documents in the international law. And I've mentioned that, a number of that, to the property owner. Okay? And how that relates to the native 12 clans and tribes. Okay? I don't own nothing. I don't claim ownership of anything. I do not hold on to a single electron. So I experience zero pressure, the true still point of a real vacuum. That's why I have to be very careful how I communicate with these folks that live on this island. Right? And that's called a gauge, a measuring gauge. Right? Speed ratios of their own power indexing. Directly related to what? A catalog, a library, the permanent records of seeded races. Right? And the direction that they're going in. Molecular compaction. So we know what that does to the central nervous system as it relates to what? Sensing capacitor speed. To be more sensitive. So their cells are more sensitive. So you know what it means to be less sensitive and more sensitive when you realize that you're getting the instructional codes from something that doesn't have any feelings. Which means it doesn't have any real healing codes to restore the soul. That's an inside job. That's why all these laptops and everything, and I mentioned it to Karen and Luke McDonald because I know what the truth is. And that may be uncomfortable, and I acknowledge that because I had to do what I had to do in order to restore me, which is why I lit myself on fire. Okay, so that I experienced the true still point of a true echo, and that's what warmed my heart the other day when I mentioned that to Jeanette Neganobly, and she goes, she can hear the echo. Yeah. That's why we're here. The true echo, the true still point to experience the silver and gold Métis Rouché. That's 45, 45, 45, and 45. That's not 60 hertz, BB. That's what's causing the plates to get bent. Bending light. Right? That's not what the law is. Right? 6666. 60 hertz is not what the law is on this planet. Okay? 9 is. Mama's 3 spheres logos. That's what the law is here. That's a mother arc. Join as one with the father arc. That's the 13th mother arc. That's the exact center point of silver and gold. To experience being one with the grand creator spirit. The 4 square crystal cathedral. That's who we are. Turn a key. Key Rache, eternal life template. That's a breathing tempo, which is breathing the right codes. We're breathing the right codes. Right? 0 hertz. 0 ohms. Mat, 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 pe de. Thank you so much for those beautiful songs that I listen to every night before I go into Never Never Land, Alice in Wonderland, The Looking Glass. Yeah, the crystal spiral. That's a true looking glass, which means we already know the result before they do. Because that's called an eternal life mapping system. So that means we know the codes, code talkers, right? The mathematical function of codes, frequency modulation spheres, the vacuum gauge, modulating, monitoring, self-monitoring or self-regulation, cell regulation, the usage rate of electrical power, right? The eternal source of all electrical power, the seven-gold-mated one, the one I serve, which is humble service. I'm in humble service to all of you, all creation. Everything that I see in my mirror is experience of what I am, which is what love is, because that's what the law is. And you cannot escape that truth. That's eternal truth because that's eternally applied, like applied mathematics. That is high precision, which is analog, which is a log, like the exponent, right? Like x squared, the square root of 2 minus I to the I. Remember that, Tim Refat? Wet bulb, dry cell battery, wet batteries, experiencing being one. Running perfect atmospheric weather patterns of sound and light burn patterns of Kundal rays, golden fire. Silence is golden fire, the sacred butterfly. Yeah. Just like Midway, June 6th, they took the bait, Admiral. The bait was the tech. Needing a fix, like a junkie fix. Oh, the junket. Like a Chinese junket. Oh, the dragon lines, the ley lines. Lines of communication between nodes, which are codes. The frequency modulation codes, as that relates to what? 2 4-square alignments, over souls coming together to pull it all together again. That's the base point of the first platform, the Eternal Life platform. Yeah, the silver and gold mated one. Mueva, yeah.